So this is such a great story. I mean, it just shows the internet and how people can now look at so many pictures, and especially in fashion, they can call out some designers. Tell us what this fashion designer was able to find online and really bring it forward.
Sure. She noticed a bracelet that she assumed was a Pamela Love bracelet, but then when she went back to look at runway images of the Chanel show, she realized that it was the same bracelet, or a similar looking bracelet, and so she called Chanel on it. She posted a blog item saying these look eerily familiar to Pamela Love, a collection that Pamela Love, a smaller designer, a New York-based designer, did a couple of years ago. Chanel got wind of it through some other bloggers who reposted what this blogger posted. And
went
Chanel,
viral, so to speak.
It went viral, so to
Yes.
speak. It was something that couldn't be ignored, and Chanel sort of acknowledged
Here's
in
the
a
bracelet
statement.
here. We're looking at a picture.
And Chanel acknowledged that it did look similar, and that they would not, therefore they would not manufacture it as part of their line.
Now we all know that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but when it comes to fashion, there's a lot of times there's a line that's crossed. I mean, there's influences that happen all the time, but
yes.
But in this instance, when it's so close and someone calls them out, the designers really felt they had to pull them from any retailer.
Right, and Chanel only offered a statement, and they didn't sort of say, yes, we did copy Pamela Love, but the implication is there. And once it, again, spreads on the internet, it sort of spreads like wildfire, and people start making accusations. And I think Chanel, to its credit, just didn't want that to want to be associated with even the thought that they sort of allegedly copycatted some small designer.
And you write about this young blogger. She's a law student, has a flair for fashion or an interest in it on her
Yes.
blog, and she's really interested in the law of fashion. And then this copyright issue seems to be going on because there really aren't a lot of laws, which is sort of surprising when it comes to fashion and copyright in the U.S.
Exactly. The design industry here in the U.S., the Council of Fashion Designers of America, has been pushing for legislation to protect designs, to offer copyright protection for designs, and it's just been moving really slowly through Congress. So meanwhile, there are these fashion bloggers, and she's not the only one, but she's the latest one, who are doing this job of policing the industry, if you will, and doing side-by-side pictures saying, you know, doesn't this look like so-and-so? And sometimes brands are responding, and sometimes they're just sort of putting their head in the sand. But with the internet, it's really harder to put your head in the sand now because so many people see it and are reacting and tweeting it and Facebooking it. So,
and to what extent is this really changing the industry in the sense that these smaller designers who could never probably afford to launch a major legal challenge to a major fashion house, but even the public perception on a blog, on the fashion blogs as they go viral, makes a difference? And so do designers now have to be much more aware of their designs and checking to make sure that they're not too close to something that someone put out a couple years ago?
Yes, they actually do. They seriously do, especially now that these bloggers are out there watching and they have good long memories and they have all these images accessible on the internet. Everything's on the internet now. So, and as much as you can say we didn't know about that, it's really hard when people are putting pictures next to each other on the internet. So.